Hey guys, welcome to 3.9. Good morning to you all. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about the warm-up for today. This is solved by using inverses. So this right here is like your 3.7, okay? Alright, to do that, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to set up your matrix, your coefficient matrix, which I have right here, okay? And then you set up your variable matrix. You got your x and your y. You got that. Leave yourself a space, and then you write your constant matrix, as you can see. Well, like canceling, I want to get rid of this, so what do I do to get rid of this? I take the inverse of that. So I go to my calculator. Let me clear out a few things. And I type this matrix in, going alpha zoom, okay? And it's a 2 by 2. And I type my entries, which is 4, 1, -6, -3. And hit this button right here that says -1. See that? That's going to give me my inverse. Notice it's a lot of decimals. Change it to a fraction. It's easier to write. And there's my inverse. And that's how I cancel that out. And what you do to one side, you do to the other side. So when you cancel that out, all you have left is your x and y. So you're going to take your inverse and you're going to multiply it times a 2 by 1, just like that. And you're going to type in your constant, 16, comma 6, sorry, right click, and that tells you your x is equal to -5 and y is equal to 8. You can write your answers like this, or you can put them in ordered form, ordered pairs, coordinate form, okay? Either way. And the reason you have to put the inverse in front of it is because if this was over here, you have a 2 by 1, and then you have a 2 by 2. You see how those two do not multiply. So you have to have a 2 by 2 and a 2 by 1 so that these guys will multiply. And there's your warm-up for 3.9. All right. For this assignment, 3.9, here's our goal for today. Students will be able to model matrices in a real-life application by encoding a message to their classmates. So, let's get started. Notice that your assignment right here as well as your notes page are the same, so I need you guys to kind of follow along on here, and this will be your notes. And then on your own, you don't have to do the top part, you just have to do the bottom part for those of you who are not in class, okay? So that's option B, students. That's going to be your assignment to go with this. Alright, so here we go. Mission Impossible, cracking the code. We are touching on encryptions. Encryption softwares keep, let me see if we can read that better. Encryption software keeps your bank account protected, your credit card number secure, and it helps our country's national security. So what it does is it gives you different layers of encoding. And for you to do all that, it takes a little while, and it takes a big computer, like as far as memory. But for our purpose in class, just to show you how you can code a message to another student, we're just going to do one layer, okay? All right. So encoding and decoding matrices can be shared between individuals to pass messages back and forth. Only the people who know the matrix can decipher the words. So our goal is we are going to code, and then you're going to give it to your friend, and your friend's going to decode what you wrote, pretty much. Since inverses undo the original matrix, the person receiving the message can simply multiply by the inverse to read the message. And on a national level, on other levels, you would have done a lot more layers. Okay, you would have had more than just one 2 by 2 matrix. Here we're just going to do a 2 by 2. It is without someone knowing the correct coding message, your secret is safe from the world. And the coding, how we're going to encode it, is we are going to use these numbers. So A will equal to 1, B equals to 2, C equals to 3. You will need to come back to this, okay, when you are doing your encoding. So you might need to come back. I'm going to take a snapshot of this and actually upload it for you just so you have the encoding. But you will need this in order to do your assignment. So you might want to come back to the video and pause right here, or pull that up in a little bit. All right. So what you want to do is we want to send a message. And in order to send a message, we have to convert the message, okay? So, on your notes page, we are going to write, give me just a moment, because I have things on here that I did not want to have. All right, here we go. Under the message, so I'm going to walk you guys through it so you know how to do it. By the way, you need to know this for your test. And I'm going to pull this up just a little bit, okay? All right, so under here, together, we're going to decide our code. And so right now, I'm not going to give you a code just yet. But what I want you to do is, the code that we are going to use, and I'll show you in a little bit, is 1, 2, 3, 4. So you need to pick a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, so in number 1, we're going to use this. This is not for your homework. This is for the notes. So the code I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a very easy code to break. Okay, I would not pick those. Pick something a little harder. You can do any numbers you want. You can even do fractions if you want to make it hard. I don't recommend it, but that's up to you. But for the sake of our notes, we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Step 2, we're going to write a message. So since this is just showing you how to do it, this is the message I want you to write in box 2. The matrix has you. Kind of original, aren't I? And don't forget, you need to have your spaces. Otherwise, it's a bunch of words written together, okay? Once you have that, we are going to convert the words to our numbers. Where was that? Where did I put it? Right here. You see how it says T is 20, H is 8, E is 5, and then you have a space. So we're going to convert all of this into the matrix, okay? So we're going to write 20, 8, 5, 0, 13, 1, 20, 18, 9, 24, just keep going, 0, 8, 1, 19, 0, 25, 15, 21. All right. So now we are going to write the matrix. So we have encoded, okay? In order to write the matrix, right now it's just a series of numbers. We got to go and count, and we're going to divide this into 2. Why 2? Because it needs to be a 2 by 2 for us to encode it. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You have 18. I'm going to divide that by 2 because I need it to be 2 rows. So that comes out to be 9. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're going to stop right there. Okay? And now we're going to translate this into a 2 by whatever matrix. In this case, it's a 2 by 9. And so if you have an odd number, like if this was 19, go ahead and round it up to a 20. Add yourself a space, okay? All right, so now we're going to write this like a matrix. Here we go. So 20, 8, 5, make sure I didn't forget anything, 0, 13, 1, 20, 18, 9, just like that. Next row, 24, 0, 8. Notice how organized it is. 1, 19, 0, 25, 15, 21. And there you have your matrix. Okay? All right. Next part. You are going to encode this. We're going to code. And to code, what you're going to do is you're going to take this right here. My pen's coming apart. Take your code, and you're going to multiply it times this matrix. Now, I have a 2 by 9. If I did alpha zoom, the biggest one I can have is a 6. So can I do alpha zoom? No, you're not going to be able to do alpha zoom, okay? So what you're going to have to do is you're going to actually need to write down these steps. For anything bigger than a 6, we're going to have to do these steps. So we kind of did that already, okay? and I use this, and I'm going to encode it, and here are the steps to enter. You ready? Second matrix. I recommend you writing this down somewhere on your notes, even if you write it along the page or something. Second matrix. Okay, so let me clear it. Second matrix. You see where it says edit? Go to edit. Right click to edit. Oops, I went too far. You have all these matrix you can name. It doesn't matter which one you pick. I like just to stick with A, so I'm going to hit 1. Okay? What is the dimension of the matrix? We had a 2 by 9. Now, the thing about this one is you don't right click, you push enter. So I'm going to go ahead and enter all my data right here. See that? Okay. And it's going to keep going to the right. So you're going to put 20, enter, 8, enter, 5, enter, 0, enter, 13, 1, 20, 18, 9. Be very careful that you type it in correctly. So 24, 0, 8, 1, where am I? 19, 0, 25, 15, 21. All right, you see these lines right here? That tells you there's more to the left, okay? So I have entered my data right here, my information. To get out of it, hit second quit. It's blue. Okay, so now I'm going to multiply the two together. So here's what I do to multiply. Alpha zoom, because this is only a 2 by 2. Go to a 2 by 2, and I'm going to type in 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Go. Enter information. All right. Second, quit. Okay. So you're going to enter this 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And to go grab your matrix, okay, you're going to hit second matrix and pick where you put your info. Got it? All right. So I'm going to hit second matrix. Notice it tells you in A, I have a 2 by 9 that I just entered, so I'm going to grab 1, and it's going to multiply it for you, just like that. All right? So I'm going to write this down in step 3. Now, when you write this, write top and bottom, because that way you don't have to scroll back and forth. 68, 156, 8, 24, 21, 47, 2, 4. Now, notice there's an arrow, so I'm going to keep going. 51, 115, 1, 3, 70, 160, 48, 114. Keep going. 51, 111, and it ends. Just like that. Okay. A lot of times students have this problem. They go and highlight this, and they push enter, and then they're like, it's not scrolling over. Well, what happened is, when you do that, it's set on this. So go back up to that part where you had multiplied and push enter. Go ahead and let it multiply, and your cursor's here. You don't have to go back up there. That's when you can move it. But if you move it up like this, it has it set there. Even if you push enter, it's not going to move, okay? So make sure you do it at this part right here where you did the multiplication, push enter, let it multiply, give you the solution, then it will move left and right. So a lot of students have that issue. Okay, this is the part that you are going to give to your partner, and they're going to have to decode this. For our class, for you online, I'm going to give you a different code on the homework, okay? So make sure you go to the assignment. All right, next part, we are going to decode. Well, how do you decode? Well, what you do to decode is you take this information, okay, and you're going to multiply it. We're going to call this A. You're going to take your inverse matrix, and you're going to multiply it times your, not that one, times your A matrix, just like that, okay? So we're going to take the inverse and we're going to multiply it times that. So how do I do that? Here we go. Let me clear this so the calculator starts fresh. Alpha zoom. Oh, wait. We have to go and enter all this number right here. See that? So to do that, we have to go to enter our information. So second matrix, right click over to edit. I'm going to keep it at 1 because I'm done with that. And it's still a 2 by 9, and I'm going to enter this information. Remember, you push enter after each entry, so that way, otherwise it's not going to go over. This is not the shortcut method, this is the long method, but this one can work for how many ever columns. Oops, that's 115, not 45. That would have messed us up. And if you just miss on one number, that just means you probably typed something in wrong, okay? So notice I have it in there, so I'm going to second quick get out of that. Now I'm going to take the inverse, alpha zoom, 2 by 2, right click. When you do alpha zoom, go to the inverse button, second matrix, I have left it in 1, and I multiply. Do you see that right there? Okay. So I am decoding, so I'm going to write that down. 20, 24, 8, 0, 5, 8, 0, 1, 13, 19, 1, 0, right click over, 20, 25, 18, 15. So I just keep writing. 18, okay, so I'm at 9 and 21. All right. So I have decoded it. Now I'm going to go, so I have decoded, okay, and now I'm going to go and translate it back. So go back to right here so I can translate to a message I know. 20 is T. H. 8 is H. 5 is E. Notice I'm just using this right here, okay, and I'll keep that separate. Space. 13 is M. 1 is A. T. R. I. X space H. A. S space Y. O. U. So what is the message I am asking you to do? The matrix has you. Okay? So did you guys see that right there? So you're going to code and you're going to decode. So the coding starts here and the decoding starts down here. So those of you who are virtual, I will be giving you a message I need you to decode. All right, so make sure you know how to code and make sure you know how to decode. And the code that we share has to have an inverse. All right? Okay. Good luck, guys. You'll do great.